So I wanted to do a juice cleanse. I'm not like the typical poster child for juice cleanses, and but I did one back in the summer. I've done them before, and I just realized when I do them that, yeah, I do lose weight because I'm not eating as much, right? I'm not like going and getting a fried whatever, but I also think a lot more clearly. I'm more focused. I sleep a lot better. I feel a lot better. I don't have like peaks and valleys and energy throughout the day. I'm not drinking beer, so I'm usually like not getting a small buzz, right? So there's all of these other benefits that I've found besides just from losing weight. And for me, like I really want to experiment in the future with psychedelics to see like what creativity that unlocks for me with the business. And I've found that I get I get so clear and focused when I'm doing a juice cleanse that it usually births something else, for like the business or whatever.
Cool.
So, I reached out, a few months ago, and now you put this awesome program together, and I'm excited to try it.
I'm excited for you to try it too, because it's literally seconds off the press.
That's amazing. Wow.
I've had the idea to kind of do something a little different than the typical juice cleanse. We have been asked, I don't know how many times.
Really?
I mean, people really do want to do a cleanse. It's interesting that you say that, you have found that you lost weight previously, because that just reminded me that in general, that is the number one reason why people want to do a cleanse. But to me, that is so much of like a byproduct or the last thing on the list for what I'm trying to do for people here. So that might happen, but to be honest, that might just be because you're not drinking as many calories like through your beer, and it might not have to do with the actual like detox process. And one thing that's really important for me with this concept is that people look at it more as a reset than a cleanse. And I think that this cleanse culture has really just gone into a wild direction of almost being toxic in and of itself, ironically. It's kind of a starvation model. There's this whole ideology of like what needs to be done in order to achieve success with your health. And that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to create broad strokes and baby steps. So overarching, like, what is good for you? Like what do you need to give your body to do what it will do naturally best? So I'm okay with the idea of it being a liquid diet for a few days, because it does give your body that rest to not be in digestion mode, which is like a very mechanical process. All these nutrients are unlocked and they're waiting in the jars for your body to like take in pretty quickly. But yeah, as you can see here, we have a set of broths and juices.
Okay, cool.
So I can walk you through it, but I don't know if you have any questions kind of just looking at the setup here.
No, I mean, I will after the fact, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to be doing 6 days of this. This is batch 1. There's 11 vials there of different things, which I know you're going to explain later, and I'm going to explain as I'm vlogging and going through it. But this is a 3-day supply, correct?
Yes.
So then I'll come back Wednesday or Thursday and get more.
That way we can keep the juices fresh.
Cool.
The broths will be perfectly fine throughout, but I want you to try all 4 different types of broth that we have. We have 2 plant-based ones and 2 protein meat-based ones or bone broth-based ones. So I'm splitting it up half and half for you.
Cool.
So you're getting 1 plant-based one for the morning session, and then your 2 other servings throughout the day will be the protein.
Awesome.
And it'll repeat the same steps. It'll just be different broths the second half.
Okay.
For you. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I guess, like you started Farm Girl Juicery here when the Salt Lake Market opened earlier in February, right? And so, and then quickly after that, you had the second location.
Yep.
So, as this, have you always wanted to have a juicery or a juice shop, or what led you to want to do this business?
Yeah. So I moved back to Syracuse a little over a decade ago. I was at the Natural Gourmet Institute in Manhattan, where it was 99% plant-based food. And the food that we were getting was from Onondaga County, Cayuga County, Madison County. I mean, there were people from all around the world in this class, and I'm sitting there in New York City, and I'm looking back at my hometown saying, like, these products are from my backyard, literally. So it created a connection in my mind of this missing link, and I just kind of felt like I had always wanted to live anywhere else but my hometown.
Yeah.
And at that moment, everything kind of shifted into a new focus for me, where I was like, if communities and the cool communities that I want to live in are based off the food culture, then I want to go home and make that part of the reason why I want to stay, not the reason why I don't want to be there. We're sincerely surrounded by some of the best agriculture in the world. So I came home and I kind of started very slowly an evolution of different food projects. And in 2012, I opened my first restaurant that was LOFO, which stood for Love Food Local Focus. And we had a huge farm-to-table educational presence with that mission. And in between the LOFO project and the Farm Girl project, I was commuting back and forth between here and New York City.
Wow.
And at that time, I could see juiceries popping up on every corner. I mean, it went from having to travel to a very specific one on the Upper East Side, and that was just my first stop when I would get into the city, to essentially having them on every corner and many different types of them taking off. And it refocused me in that direction of wanting to bring things back, but with more of a focus on my beverages, and the health and wellness component of it. We always had that with LOFO, but for me, like, shortly after LOFO, I went into Institute for Integrative Nutrition and did my health coaching certification, and was just always getting so many questions over the counter. And this seemed like also something that I was lacking here in Syracuse, and was kind of like, if I'm going to end up here again, like round two, where am I going to end up really anchoring in? I can't really live comfortably in a city that doesn't have a juicery. I kind of started replacing my coffee habit with my juice habit, and so no one else really stepped into the realm. So when I decided this is where I was really going to be, and I just decided to bring it back.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
So from day one, it wasn't like juicery mindset.
Right.
It was actually tea more so than anything. But then that local food movement kind of took me by storm, and
that's awesome. I forget who else. I've heard a few others, but I feel like some of the more successful, I shouldn't say more successful, the people that I've met who started a business because there was a void of that in their city, and because they wanted it as a consumer, usually succeeded. So,
thanks. I hope that's true. I have to say, from the first time to the second time, because we did serve juice at our restaurant from 2012 to 2017. This time is a whole new level of appreciation, a whole new level of consumer. People come to our stall, they're not surprised by the price because they've tried juicing at home themselves, and they've found that it's very time consuming and it's expensive and it's kind of a mess. And that is the reason why I did not do it for myself at home. So it was kind of like, I'm not doing this for me. You know, if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it for 100 people.
That's smart. It is. It can be definitely a pain to do it at home. Well, I'm excited for it. I'm really looking forward to it, and thank you for letting me be the first. And I'm excited to document it over the next 6 days and see what happens.
I've got some homework assignments for you too while you go through it.
All right, awesome. Well, so you and I are actually going to meet back up a week from tonight, from today, with Rochelle for a podcast in the studio. So I'm looking forward to that. And this one is coming out. I think I'm going to put this out tomorrow. So,
oh, really? Okay. Wow.
So,
Here we go.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right.
Look forward to seeing it.